This is all about President Biden and Lloyd Austin trying to take over the war from Israel.
We've not made a final determination on how to proceed with that shipment.
I got one message for Israel. Don't let them do it.
For months, Democrats hammered Republicans to pass U.S. military aid for America's friends abroad. Now, just weeks after the bill passed with overwhelming bipartisan support, President Biden is holding up the weapons that Israel needs to destroy Hamas's last remaining stronghold.
If they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities, to deal with that problem.
Specifically, we paused one shipment of weapons consisting of 1,800 2,000-pound bombs and 1,700 500-pound bombs.
Given all the news footage of Israeli forces on the move, it's easy to forget that this is actually a defensive operation following the October 7 terror attacks by Hamas, in which more than 1,200 people were killed, including Americans, and more than 200 taken hostage, including some who remain in captivity today.
We will always be committed to Israel's security. We will always be committed to helping Israel defend itself against Hamas, Hezbollah, the threat from Iran, the threat from other terrorist groups and malign actors.
Now, with the exception of Kentucky's Rand Paul, all Senate Republicans have joined a measure tabled by Lindsey Graham condemning the administration's decision.
This is obscene. It is absurd. Give Israel what they need to fight the war they can't afford to lose.
As is so often the case with Mr. Biden, it's difficult to interpret what he's trying to achieve. One minute the president is condemning anti-Semitism and committing his support for Israel.
And my commitment to the safety of the Jewish people, the security of Israel, and its right to exist as an independent Jewish state is ironclad, even when we disagree.
A day later, and Mr. Biden is restricting access to the weapons that Israel needs to destroy the threat.
I've made it clear to Bibi and the War Cabinet, they're not going to get our support if, in fact, they go in these population centers.
So much for that ironclad support. Folks, he's lying to Israel, and he's lying to all of you.
Joe Biden objectively favors a Hamas victory over Israel. It's just that simple.
The response from Israel's national security minister, posted on X, was simply, Hamas loves Biden. Then this from Israel's prime minister.
We are determined and we are united in order to defeat our enemies and those who want to destroy us. If we need to stand alone, we will stand alone.
I think the president's doing the right thing. We want to support Israel. We want to make sure that the actions that they take to defend themselves and to stop Hamas terrorism do not involve innocent people giving their lives and being injured.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will probably try to deny the measure a floor vote. But the House could force Mr. Biden to at least pay some political price for his policy choices.
The message to Israel, the message to American allies around the world is very, very unfortunate, and very a mixed message.
Mr. Biden's threat to pull the plug on its main US ally in the Middle East is a watershed moment that will radiate across the world.
This is the message to our allies that, if it's politically inconvenient for the president to send you arms, then, sorry, you're on your own. I mean, this is while they're under attack.
The president is only emboldening Hamas. Why would Hamas release hostages when Joe Biden will give Hamas exactly what it wants?
Nations on the fence will look elsewhere for their own security, said Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, and our enemies will be emboldened. It's an apt summary of Mr. Biden's foreign policy.
We're going to look at what tools do we have, and here's the first tool I have. Sit down with Democrats and see if we can walk this back.